your hair look. You know, you can be bullied for the clothes that you wear. You can be bullied for, this is her saying that no matter what you guys think, you know, I love my hair and I love me. You can be bullied for your size. You're being too, you know, you're too fat, you're too skinny. But it doesn't matter what you think. I love myself.
Hi family, I'm Dr. Brenda. I'm a licensed daycare provider, a published author of 3 children's books, an advocate, a consultant, a veteran's wife, and a mother. If you need help setting up your daycare service or just looking for great ideas to incorporate a play-based learning approach as well as learn about research-based solutions to issues impacting education, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, share, like. Thank you.
Yeah. I left Haiti at the age of 3 and relocated to the Turks and Caicos. I lived there for a few years, and at the age of 11, I moved to the States. I lived in Miami for a little while, and mostly Florida for the most part, and left Florida finally in 2019 and have moved to a few different places since then. But yes, originally I was born in Haiti. So I am married. I have 3 children. My husband is Samuel. I have 3 children, 16, 13, and 7. All of our children homeschooled. They're schooled from home. And my husband works from home. So everyone is home together every day. And it's pretty awesome, I have to say. As far as work, my background is in social service. So I've been doing a lot of case management work since 2012. Currently, though, I am working with a project where we are taking a group of high school students and introducing them to the different career options that are in the food system. So we are educating them through field trips, hands-on activities, classroom learning, bringing in guest speakers, and just allowing them the opportunity to have access to resources and really giving them an option once they graduate high school. If we have kids that want to go and take the college route, we can help that be a smooth transition. But if, you know, there's some children that don't want to do college, and so we are here to let them know that that is okay. And if they want to do the entrepreneurial route, we can also guide them in that process. So currently I work with a company by the name of RG Foods, and the goal is basically to bring fresh food to food desert areas. So that is what I am currently doing. Oh, my motivation behind writing a children's book. Well, I would like to start off by saying in 2020 was when I wrote my first book. And at that time, I was home with my youngest. How old was he? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the older 2 were in school, but I was homeschooling the youngest one. And we were working on learning about colors and numbers and letters. And so as I sit there, I was like, the way that I was teaching it, I was like, wait a minute, this can be a book. And then so I wrote it down and I formatted it in a way for it to kind of flow and in a way where he can pick it up. So this is how Fruit Family, I have the no sales because this was my proof copy, but this was my very first book, Fruit Family. This is how it came to birth, just by me being home with my youngest and attempting to teach him about colors and numbers. And Fruit Family, the children, once they read this book, they will not only learn about colors, numbers, but they will also learn about the different family dynamic, aunties, uncles, grandparents. And this book, as you can see from the cover, it's, people from all over. So there's different cultures that's involved in this book. And so they will also be learning about the different fruits, like sometimes we're used to like bananas and apples, just the day-to-day fruits, but there's so many other different fruits out there. So this book kind of introduced them to some of the different fruits. So they're learning about the colors, they're learning about the letters, the numbers, they're learning about, and I also want to point out in this book, one thing that I did was, when you're saying the word green, you're also saying that the word is green, So yeah, this is how this book came to birth. And then from this book, all the other ones just kind of like came and I wrote them. Absolutely. So I already told you guys a little bit about Fruit Family. And this was the baby. This is how it all got started. So I will move on with the other ones, right? So I Am Beautiful. I'm not going to make any of it too long, but I Am Beautiful actually was birthed when it's a little bit a combination of my story and my daughter. I have a daughter who had her hair was locked like my hair is, and she went through a time in her life where she was being bullied because of the way that her hair looked. And she came home to me one day and wanted to take her hair out. And we talked about it. We talked about the process, and it was a journey. So we went ahead and we took the hair out because she didn't feel like she didn't feel happy because of everything that was happening around the hair. But later on, as she continued to grow, we talked about the importance of hair, of Black girls' hair, and what that really means for Black girls, right? And actually now, we've since then went through the process of doing her hair over, and she have her locks again now, and she's happy and she's proud. So this book was birthed where it's really talking about, all the different things that you might go through as a child and how there's different aspect of it where you can be bullied for the way your hair look. You can be bullied for the clothes that you wear. You can be bullied for, this is her saying that no matter what you guys think, I love my hair and I love me. You can be bullied for your size. You're being you're too fat, you're too skinny. But it doesn't matter what you think. I love myself and I love me. So this book is like reaffirming, no matter what your opinions might be of me, whether you're bullying me for my shoes, whether you're bullying me for my hair, whether you're bullying me for my culture, it doesn't matter what your thoughts, what your opinions are. Because whatever it is, I love that about me and I love me. And that's the bottom line. So this was from both of our experience. I Am King was catered more to the young men's. And basically this book is saying that, as young Black boys, I know I have a son that he used to get in trouble a lot with school because he had a lot of energy. And sometimes, when we're not around the right people, the right environment, they can take that and basically identify us as, label us, put like this label, the stigma over our young boys. And then so this book came to birth. I have 2 young boys, and this is just a reminder that whatever they do, I want them to always remember that they are royalty. So whenever they think to act in a way that is not, when they know better, right? When they know better and they're not doing what they know they're supposed to be doing, that's basically saying that they are falling out of their king mode, right? So this book is saying that whenever we are, this is a page from the book where on one page he's basically pushing and not being too nice. So this is not king behavior. This is not king attitude. But in the next page, when you're able to like be a team and doing the right things, and this is how royalty behave. This is how royalty acts. So this book basically take you from, is this the way I'm supposed to act, or is this the way I'm supposed to act? So royalty, because we are royalty, there's a certain behavior that is expected of us, and do not let anybody tell you different because you are king. So that's how this book came to birth. At Grandma's House was a book that I went to sleep. I had a dream, and then at grandma's house was birth. I worked as a case manager in the foster care system for a good while. And a lot of our youth who either had moms that were no longer in their lives, whether it was fathers that were no longer in their lives, whether it was because of drugs, whether it was because of death, whether it was because they were in prison. A lot of them ended up with grandparents, to the point where in Florida there was an entire program based around grandparents raising grandchildren. So this book came to play where basically it's about a granddaughter just really having a bond and a connection with her grandmother. So spending time at grandmother's house. And this can be, a grandchild that goes there, for the summer, or just go there on the weekend, or that actually lives there, whatever the case might be, because there's different cases. And this is just about the different experience, of being at grandma's house. Like, grandma's house is bomb. Grandma's house is where it's at. Grandma's house, we read books, we sing songs, we play hide and seek, we just sit and we talk, like they just have this beautiful connection, this beautiful bond where they just really enjoy each other's company. And in all these books, like with the exception of I Am Fruit Family, which is the very first one, all these books are really highlighting Black families, Black children, just really being normal children, being normal families, and doing the same thing that other families do, So this is what this book is about. And of course, if you have at grandma's house, you need at grandpa's house, right? So at grandpa's house was basically the same idea, the same concept. So you have a young man that have this beautiful bond, this beautiful relationship with his grandfather. And they do some cool things together. They go fishing together. They play chess together. They eat yummy candies together. Not too much candies because we got it, the cavities. They have friends come over. Grandpa's setting up play dates. Grandpa's on the grill. Just making some yummy food, and even like teaching them how to be a gentleman. All these different wonderful things, and this different beautiful relationship that a grandfather have with his grandson. My name is Martha. This book is basically about this beautiful young lady, and I wanted this illustration to highlight the natural puff and the natural curl with the afro, and how she's a girly girl that likes to dress up and be pretty. And this is like a day in Martha's life, and just the relationship that she has. So this is a normal Black family doing normal Black things, going grocery shopping together. Well, this is her and her father at the grocery store, and her being reminded like she can get away with some things with daddy because daddy will let it slide, but mom would be like, no, you can't have it. So and even her being the only child and wanting a sibling, and parents like, no, we're good. And trips to the museum, just different experiences that melanated families also share and make happen. And this is her room. This is rules that she also have to follow, and keeping her room up to par to a certain degree, and just baking with mom, doing homework with mom, and just a beautiful experience in a beautiful home where she's happy, where she's loved, where it's a safe place, it's a safe environment for her. And We Are Children was my last book. Well, it's not my last book, but it's the latest one that I have written. And honestly, this book is very simple, but it was more like a reminder. It was more like a reminder to the world. This book was birthed as I sat down and I was really thinking about all of the different things that has been happening with our young boys, our young Black boys, just being gunned down and killed just because, right? And it's like these energies they're just children. So that's why the book is literally called We Are Children. I used 3 kids on the cover because I have 3 kids, and this was kind of a representation of my children, my daughter, my oldest, well, my youngest, and then my oldest. But basically, this book is just going through, you know, at the end of the day, the bottom line is we're children. We do the same thing. We love to learn. Um, what is it saying? We have dreams, we have aspirations, we're natural born leaders, all these different things that we are. We're athletes. Um, we have parents who love us. We're hard workers. So this is just highlighting the essence of children. We're just living our lives just like any other children out there. And the fact that as children who are just being children and all these things are happening. Yeah, so this book was just a reminder, to the world that just because we are melanated, that doesn't take away from us just being children. And we are no different from any other children that are out there. And these are coloring. This is a coloring book. I wanted to kind of highlight, just helping out with ABCs, and in the process, being able to help with writing and coloring and tracing and new words also being introduced in this. So yeah, this is a coloring book that is more focused on the letters. And if you have letters, of course, you need numbers. So this is a coloring book that is focused on numbers. The same concepts where you write, you color, you trace, you count. So yes. So these are all books that all came from a place of really wanting to represent and highlight melanated children and Black children, Black and brown children. And really, when they pick up the books and they open and they turn the pages, just really having that representation and seeing people there in the books that truly looks like them. I have a friend actually whom she have a daughter, and they purchase I Am Beautiful, and she purchased I Am Beautiful, and her mom tells me that whenever she reads this book, she will literally ask her mom, "Mommy, is this me? Is that me on the cover?" So for her, the representation is there. She sees herself in the book, and that's the goal. That's the purpose for every little girl who opened this book and read it, and the words and the affirmations that are in the book, for them to be able to take that with them and affirm that they are beautiful and that the opinions of others don't matter, right? So this is just affirming them and building their self-confidence. And the reason why I wanted to go with the younger kids is because I feel that the younger you start them, the better. So the earlier you can start them with knowing who they are and truly understanding who they are. And, when you grow up, especially when you're in school, just the world period, people are going to say things are going to come up, and they might not always be pleasant, but it doesn't mean that you have to take it in. You know who you are, and you stay strong and solid in who you are. So, so all these books were ways for me to just kind of have representation for our youth, and to empower them and to remind them of who they are, and to actually let them know and understand that they can do whatever it is that they want to do. Because here I am, a female Black author, doing it. So it's kind of like paving the way and showing them that you too can do this. Typically, there's from age this to age this with books, and that's just how it is. I would say that mommies who are pregnant and have babies in the belly, you can start off reading these books to your babies, and all the way up to probably like 2nd grade. However, these books are also ways that you can go back and heal your inner child. Because like I said, when I wrote I Am Beautiful, this was kind of like I was inspired by my daughter, but it also had to do with some of my experiences. So I would say that my books have no age. So even as an adult, you can pick up any of these books and find something in there that will resonate with you. So, yeah. With the first book, I had a person that was able to help guide. She was familiar with the formatting of books. And with the very first book, I do have three different versions. I have the ebook, I have the hard copy, and the paperback. So I had someone that was kind of able to help guide with the formatting, because you have to write, and then you have to format, and then you have to upload. So it's a whole process. And I'm grateful for the self-publishing platform, because there's not anyone telling you that, yes, you can put this work out there, or no, you can't put this work out there. So I believe as an artist, that's what art is, right? So when it comes to art, it's different for everyone, and it resonates differently with everyone. And being able to self-publish created the space for me to put my books out there exactly how I wanted to show up, without someone coming and telling me, hey, maybe, this, did it. No, just exactly how I wanted to show up to the world. And I'm not going to lie, the journey was one of those journeys where you have to be very, very patient, not only with the different moving pieces, but with yourself, because there's been time where a book will be out and I have the copy in my hand, and then I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, there's an extra S, or it's missing and this is after it's been through editing, and, hire an editor. But you will still find sometimes mistakes that you have to go back and kind of work through. So it's the journey. The journey is a beautiful journey where you get to be a part of it every step of the way, but it can be frustrating if you're not patient with yourself. So I would say to anyone who would like to take this journey, just to be patient with yourself, and just do it. Just do it. There are tons of people out there who have the skill sets that can come together to help you bring any idea you might have in your mind, help you birth it, to life. Um, but just be patient with yourself. It is possible. It can happen. Anyone, literally anyone, can do it. Um, and you get to be part of it every step of the way. So if there's something you don't like, you can say, hey. And, after doing one or two books, then you kind of like get the groove of it a little bit more. But the journey was a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. You just have to understand that you're responsible for everything, even with the illustrations. You're picking your illustrator, and even then you have to make sure that it's flowing. Whatever it is that you're writing in the book, you want the illustration to represent that. And you want it to look the way that you want it to look. So it's a beautiful journey where you get to be a part of it every step of the way, but be patient with yourself and give yourself grace.
Very nice.
So all of my books are in a paperback format. So everything is paperback. You can find all of them in paperback. However, Fruit Family, the very first book, I have that in all three formats. You can download it on Amazon. You can find it on also Ingram Spark. I have hard copy and also paper format. So with the exception of Fruit Family, all of them are in paper format. So right now, I am currently using social media, specifically Facebook and Instagram, Instagram, and also LinkedIn. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I am in a space now where I am more open to doing more, things like this, interviews, and I will be starting doing readings at local daycares, local elementary schools. These are my hopes. I have not started any of that process yet, but for now, I am using LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook to bring awareness to the books. I do have future plans to write many more books. It's funny because whenever I used to think about writing a book, children's book was never something that was a part of my thought process. But that's what came up first. However, I do have some plans on writing a few more so inspirational books, uplifting books, motivational books, and I have stories. I would say I have a story to tell, but I have stories to tell in regards to my life. And the goal is to eventually write a few, maybe like 3 books about my story. So yes, there's definitely plans to write a lot more books. My favorite part about being an author is the freedom to put a message, well, have an idea, right? To be able to have an idea in my head, in my mind, and then go through the process of having it come to life in a book. And the beauty about being an author is that's leaving my imprint here in this space, right? So even years after I've transitioned on, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years maybe, these these books, they live on, they live on. So this is me doing my part. This is me leaving my imprint in this space. So I think that's a beautiful part of being an author. The advice that I will give anyone who I've actually met a few people that will say, man, I should write a book, or I've been thinking about writing a book. My advice would be do it. You know how Nike say, just do it? Just do it. And you might say, well, I don't know where to start. And I would say, just start writing. Just start writing. Whether it's taking your phone, taking a little note area section in it, whether you're more of a, pen, pencil, and paper, you want to write it that way, whether you want to pull out a Word document on your computer and just write, I would say whatever comes to mind, just start. If that's something that you want to do, just start. And like I said earlier, there are so many Fiverr, Upwork, Thumbtack, social media. There are so many outlets in which you can go and find other individuals who are skilled and experts in the different fields, whether it's someone to format what you've already written, whether it's someone to edit what you've already written, whether it's an illustrator. You can find these different pieces of people to come together and help bring your story to life. So my advice is do it. My final thoughts would be I know that sometimes, and this is me speaking to myself as well, right? We are now in 2023, and my first book was written in 2020. And this is my very first interview around my books. So my final thoughts would be whatever it is that you want to go out there and do it. And once you've already done it, don't be ashamed of your product, because I feel like for me, that was part of my resistance. It's like I put in all this work in creating these books and having these vision, having them come to life, and putting the time and then the money, because none of these processes are free. But then once it was all said and done, I still allowed fear to kind of like, okay, well, I don't really want to be on camera, and I don't really want to be reading my books too. And it's like, it's your product. You put in the work, you put in the time. And if you're not standing behind it, how is it that you expect anyone else to stand behind it, right? So my final thoughts would be, whatever it is that you might want to do, whether it is to write a book, whether it is to, I don't know, start a business, whatever it might be, just start, just do it. Remember that fear is an illusion. Fear is not real. You are your only, what's the word I want to use? You are the only one that is in your way. So whatever it is that you want to do that you're not doing, it's because of you. It's not because of anyone else. So today, my call, my word of wisdom or advice to anyone who might be watching this is to take the stand, whatever it is that you want to do. And this is me looking in this camera and speaking to myself. Take the stand and do not allow fear to continue to navigate and run your life. Whatever it is that you want to do, you have the power because you are source and you can do it. So start now, start today, and just do it.